Hey, hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a un nuevo, review o qué podrá ser, permítanme. Es que tengo aquí el volumen, listo. Pues, ¿cómo han estado? ¿Qué cuentan? Pues todavía falta como unos 10, 15 minutos para que empiece la premiere. Pero miren, como les debía analizar el tráiler de Thor Love and Thunder, de hecho, déjenme, les presento la premiere para que vayan aquí viendo sus horarios. Permítanme tantito. ¿Cómo han estado, Digo, los leo en los comentarios. Ah, ok. Ya les estoy presentando la premiere. Ahí está. Ahorita ya se debe de llevar a cabo bueno, de hecho ya en, ¿qué será? Cuestión de minutos. Aquí dice 8:32. Ah, caray, lo han cambiado, Ya dice en vivo. Justo, falta ¿cómo se dice? Pues que empiece, ¿no? Porque ahorita se supone que está en vivo, pero están presentando ya. Empieza pronto. ¿Les parece bien que en lo que es y todo, vamos a analizar el tráiler que se los debía? A ver, por favor, comentarios, así como aquí en el de la Premiere. Ya está en vivo lo del Thor tráiler. Listo. Ahora sí, vamos el larguito, ¿no? Que es como el que, o sea, el que no el tráiler directamente, sino más bien ¿qué será? Aquí como el clip que se acaba de salir. Ahí va. Les pongo el audio, pantalla completa para que lo vean y abrir. Listo. Espero que no haya tanto copyright.
There's a maniac who seeks to end us all. And putting together the greatest team ever.
Are you packed? Yes.
We've got Korg.
He's my best friend.
There's my ex-girlfriend Jane. Valkyrie.
This is the best day of my life.
The Guardians.
Como que Groot no creció
giant
mucho.
goats.
Oh, look at those. They are wonderful.
Yes, they are. They also scream quite a lot.
You said this would be a relaxing holiday. I said it was going to be like a relaxing holiday. Human handshake. To the Asgardian shake. Into the snake that you cannot trust. Really dragging this out and finish the classic Asgardian high one.
Ay, está chistoso.
Tickets on sale now.
Ay, no, me acabo de dar cuenta que no le puse los subtítulos en español. Bueno, vamos a ya meternos de directo acá a la Premiere para ver cómo va. Pues ahorita va en vivo, dice, pero no hay muchas respuestas. Se las pongo en compartir, pero ahí está. Compartir, le ajusto el volumen. Déjenme pues anunciar en Instagram. Estamos aquí en vivo. Así que voy a mutearme tantito. Listo, ya quedó, ya regresé. Ya lo que pasa pues que anuncié en Instagram, ¿no? Para los que vengan, cómo han estado. Pues que, o sea, digo, en lo que empieza la premier tal cual, vamos a ver que la mayoría de comentarios son en inglés, ¿eh? No estoy suscrito ya me suscribí, igual hagan lo mismo, pero aquí al canal, muchas gracias. Vamos a ponerle Premiere a ver qué creadores están aquí cubriendo la Premiere. Me hubiera encantado hacerlo desde Los Ángeles, pero pues no se pudo, ya habrá la oportunidad. Y pues al parecer pocos creadores, ¿eh? Por ejemplo, tenemos aquí en vivo la Premiere. Ok, anuncio. Bueno, no me puedo quejar porque de eso es de lo que estamos cobrando. A omitir, perdón. Mira. Yo lo quise hacer un poquito más sencillo para que vieran a fondo la pantalla y a mí me vieran en un pequeño cuadrito. Entonces por eso no está tan llamativo. Ya somos 4, qué bueno. Y les recuerdo que si quieren ustedes usar estas stickers que tengo de Thor Love and Thunder, ahí les va, que es Mighty Thor y Thor con el nuevo traje. Pueden hacerse miembros desde 9 pesos y obtienen, además de las stickers, muchos más beneficios. Ok, 2 espectadores, muy bien, ya bajó, no le hace. Pero digo, en lo que esperamos acá la Premiere, a ver, tienen algún pues alguna teoría que quieran compartir acá en los comentarios, así como algo que les intrigue de la película. O sea, ¿qué es lo que más les llama la atención? Los leo aquí en los comentarios. Perfecto. 2 usuarios. Dicen. Perfecto. Pues miren, yo creo que nos regresamos. Bueno, aquí también están reaccionando, Marvelista Chat. ¡Ay! Salimos aquí nosotros, miren. Bastante bien. No voy a meter al mío porque se vería fea la pantalla. A ver, ahora sí continuamos aquí con la cobertura. Se supone va a empezar 45. No, perdón. Como a las 10. Sí, porque ya lo habilitaron. Vamos a seguir con el tiempo de espera. Nos metemos aquí a la de Doctor Strange para ver más o menos cuánto se esperó en esa ocasión. Ok. Premiere del Doctor Strange. Es un poquito más acá, no, es más arribita. A ver si la encuentran. ¿Quién la encuentra primero? Multiverso de la locura. No, ahí no. Bueno, si no la busco más fácil. A ver. Premiere para ver el tiempo de espera pues que se tiene ahí. Aquí está justo. No, es la de arriba. Me dejé llevar por la miniatura. Ok, vamos a ver. Estuvieron... no, aquí ya habían empezado. Estuvieron como 5 minutos en espera, ¿eh? Yo creo que para que empezara, para que llegara más gente, que en sí si yo lo hago, perdería audiencia. Ay, les quiero decir que en papel, en cartón, le puse una capa de papel para que estuviera resistente. Es que se me sumió de aquí un poquito. A ver, voy a checar conexión porque es un poquito extraño. Mientras ya todo. No, pues ya regresó, está perfecto. Pues, ¿cómo ven? ¿Cómo van? Qué bueno que ya se encuentran por acá. Me da gusto volverlos a ver. Casi no tenemos aquí en vivos, casi no, pero pues una ocasión especial, ¿no? Thor. De hecho, hice hoy un estilo de Doctor Strange, a ver si así Disney pone atención en nosotros, igual y nos dan boletos para poder ir, o sea, los que estén más activos. Yo creo que el usuario, no sé si hable con alguien. A ver, voy a seguir aquí actualizando los witness, que se llaman 14, 22 llevamos. Voy a seguir actualizando. Establecer, perfecto. Y también pueden usar otras stickers y la de Brotor. Si se hacen miembros. Y en cuantos más miembros tengamos, más, ¿cómo se dice? Pues más stickers nos van a perder. Entonces, pues está bastante. Digo, por 9 pesos pueden unirse al canal. Ya nos dice que todo está correcto. Usuarios simultáneos, perfecto. 23 vistas hemos tenido, bastante bien, para las impresas. Yo sé que es como lentillo, estando aquí medio tediosón, pero pues miren, en lo que estamos aquí, que ya empezó, que no me había dado cuenta. Les pongo los subtítulos.
They're looking so good. Let me ask you something. All you Thors, Star-Lords, and Lokis out there, how you doing in this balmy weather?
And for all the Dr. J monsters and the Valkyries, how you doing, ladies?
Let me tell you something. These fans
No se puede
are out
poner los
here
subtítulos, no me digan
hanging
eso,
out
no me
because
digan
they
eso.
are the best fans
No se
in the
puede.
universe, and they are just as excited as we are for this movie. Let me tell you something, Eric, and I think you already know this about me, and I think it's the same for you. Thor Ragnarok.
Se los voy traduciendo,
It
¿no?
changed my life.
Yo tampoco sé
This
tanto
movie is
inglés.
so amazing.
Los
Excited
voy
to see
traduciendo.
Thor goes from here and where this
Voy a
entire
intentar
group goes from here. It's going to be very, very exciting.
That's right. And for those of you who are joining us at home, you can catch us live at marvel.com/ Thor premiere. Yeah, that's it. Marvel's YouTube and Twitch pages and Marvel's social channels.
That's right. And if you want to join us and
Voy
join
a
in on the
intentar
action
poner
here and talk to us live
Es
on the
raro,
live
está
stream, remember you
viendo
can
la-
tag
Ah, ya.
official and at Marvel on
Es que
Instagram, on
pusieron una-
Facebook you want to be on at Marvel Thor, and on TikTok at Marvel, and of course everywhere you want to hashtag Thor Love and Thunder. We're going to be watching that one all show long, and you may see what you're saying up on the screen.
Voy a intentar
Look
poner
at all the
una
Mighty crowd of the mighty my Marvel fans.
You know, my
Bajada por primera
is
ahí.
Tamara Krinsky over on stage. Tamara Krinsky!
How's it going down there?
Hello. Hey, Erica. Hey, Anthony. I'm Tamara Krinsky, and I am right smack dab here in the middle of the red carpet for the world premiere of Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder. And this is an amazing spot because shortly the cast on the carpet
Qué mal que
heading
lo
to
hagan
the
en
theater to
inglés,
see this
casi no
film for
piensan
the
en el
very
público
first time.
latino.
So we're going to talk to the cast, we're going to talk to filmmakers, and I'm actually really excited to talk to some of the folks behind the scenes who are responsible for putting together this crazy concept. Not only that, it's a Marvel carpet, right? Live, so anything can happen. Have folks from the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe who we'll be talking to about Thor and their favorite Asgardians. Now, something that you guys who have watched these live streams before know, you will see stuff happening over my shoulder that I don't even know is happening because I'm focusing on. Definitely want to know what you're. Definitely use the hashtag Thor Love and Thunder and let us know what you love because on this carpet is full of love tonight.
No me deja, no me
Anthony,
deja
what are you guys
poner
looking forward to?
subtítulos.
Obviously, looking forward to prizes because on these red carpets, yes, we are here to celebrate all of the larger cinematic universe, but we're also here to just celebrate what these people are going to pull and what they're gonna get.
Oh, absolutely. This is an absolutely wonderful cast and crew. They have worked together for years. They're some of the most various and closest people you will see on a movie.
All reunite tonight.
That's exactly it. I want to see all of these people together, enjoying what they have worked on and what they have made. It's going to be very, very exciting.
That's right. And why don't we take a little peek at the trailer for what we're going to see tonight?
Kids. The space Viking. Thor Odinson. He was an ordinary man. He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th time, Thor set off on a new journey. Well, he got in shape. He went from dad bod to god bod. And after all that, he reclaimed his time as the one Thor. Oh, spoke too soon.
Jane? The old ex-girlfriend.
What am I, 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days.
My
Well, you're right. The only ones who gods care about is ours. So this is my vow.
Hola,
All gods will die.
Nuevo Spider-Man, Jake. ¿No es bien? Están dando atención porque unos bolsillos que había de conexión que ya se están arreglando. De hecho, estoy viendo eso más o menos. Carlos, y ya estoy listo para todo, más que preparado.
Yeah, the gods have killed.
Todo.
We have something worth fighting for.
Ok, listo. Creo que ya por fin la cuestión. La cantidad más baja para mí, pero para los... Bueno, Thor es Mighty Thor. Sí, ya lo estoy checando.
That's a lot of Thor. That's more Thor than we've ever seen.
I've decided what I'm most excited about. We're starting to get some arrivals here on the carpet. Friends of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Very exciting. Hey, Marvel Universe, what's up? Hey, if you've got Mjolnir, hold up Mjolnir. Who's got Mjolnir?
We got some Stormbreak that's in there too.
Ooh, a lot of Mjolnirs. Hey, do we have any Stormakers?
that's
ahí.
true.
Way more
True.
millionaires. Stormbreaker not getting enough respect, I think, tonight.
You know, I think after tonight, Stormbreaker will make it known that he is worthy.
I believe so as well. Hey, you know who else is worthy? All of the wonderful people that have helped us put together this event tonight. You are seeing how amazing this actually looks. From all the amazing
no sé,
stand-ups to the
depende.
costumes to
A
the
ver, tú
props,
dime
and there's
cuánto ya
amazing team of artisans that put this
ahorita no
over the
puedo
last 2
ponerle
days.
subtítulos
Let's see how they did it.
en español. Voy a ver, ya van a pasar. Eso ya fue grabado antes, ¿eh? Si yo quiero decir. Oye, tiene muy buen ser estar allá, ¿no? Deberían de poner algo así aquí en México, que dure. Mira, yo creo que va a durar 1 hora. 1:15 más o menos. Ah, mira las cabras, los trajes, bastante bello. Valkyria, God. Oye, pues se rifaron, incluso más que en Doctor Strange. Yo creo que 1:15. ¿Ya? La camioneta ahí, pues, claro, dice esta promoción. A ver, déjenme escanear el código.
Are you a Marvel insider yet?
A ver,
You
¿a
see that
dónde nos
QR
lleva
code
el
on your
código?
screen? You want to grab your phone, you want to scan it, and you want to join Marvel Insider today.
Because you can earn points by reading articles and watching videos on Marvel.com. You can purchase digital comics, you can answer quizzes, and much, much more.
And once you rack up those points, you can redeem them for cool rewards like digital comics,
¿Cuánto se
posters,
tardará en sacar
experiences,
la versión
and
digital
more.
de todo?
And start copies of Thor
fácil
from 2014. Available to redeem now, and you don't even need points to do that.
In this issue, the Goddess of Thunder rise out her story. Start your journey today by claiming your copy.
And remember that there are limited quantities,
Nos
so
dan
act
sorpresas
fast.
ahí en el
And remember,
código.
it's free to join, so start today
Ya
and
se
get
tienen que
rewarded just
iniciar
by being your
sesión.
Marvel fan self.
Scan the QR code or visit marvel.com/insider. Everybody is starting to arrive. The crowd is getting very, very excited. I want to know, Ski, how are things going over on your end?
Things here are getting hot, and I mean that literally, because one of the things, we got shots of the cosplayers on your end of the carpet, but right across, I'm on Hollywood Boulevard, I can see the sidewalks that are just filled up with Thor fans, with Marvel fans, and these folks have been out in the hot sun all day long. So it's pretty amazing to see just how dedicated they are. The other cool thing, right behind me, we've got, you know,
Sí,
Thor
sí lo
all
entienden
over
más o
imagery,
menos.
and people keep taking pictures. A hammer approach.
Buscando la
So that's actually been really much, you know, wondering if they're worthy or not. What about you guys down there?
Miren.
All right, everybody. Now, we have been talking about all of the wonderful Marvel fans that have been hanging out
Ahí va.
here on the carpet and some of their amazing costumes. You have seen them in a wide shot. You have seen them from a jib. You've seen them from the air. But it's time to highlight some of the best cosplay that we have on this carpet.
Ahí va. Dice, Doctor Strange solo fue un mes para la versión digital. Pues igual dice que se tarde menos. Yo creo que entre 1 mes y 2 meses. 1 semana, Doctor Strange. No, pues ya salió en Disney Plus. Oye, está bueno, la premiere. Espero que algún día podamos ir a una, pero lástima que ya no va a ser a todos, ¿no? ¿Y qué onda con esos pelos? El negrito Bimbo. Vale. De todo. Ey, ¿qué onda eso es de la pasada? Ya pasó. Es de sacar. A ver, hay muchas Jane Foster, Oh, no. Estoy viendo cómo traducir. Dinamita. estoy checando una cuenta. ¿Cómo se pondrá?
Fantastic, and that was really near and dear to my heart because I started out as a cosplayer, and I have some of my cosplay buddies out here, and I'm in the crowd.
Yeah, everybody's looking extremely wonderful. Like the dedication of these people. But hello.
Hello, everyone.
But hello to you. Hello, Jenny Alexander. How are you?
Last time I checked.
Lady Sif.
Esa es Lady Sif.
Doing in
¿Creen que aparecerá en la película?
Oh, what have I been doing? Well, I'm
Thor 4 de
a Marvel sniper,
dice,
but I will
vamos,
tell you
sabía,
that this movie's great. I know that. And you guys are gonna have a lot of fun. It's an adventure. It's a heck of an adventure.
Could you, if you had some hand signals and winks that you could do to let us know what's happening in the film?
There are swords involved, guys. You should know this.
Actually, we were not swords. Actually, we were not supposed to talk about swords. What you has been jumping around everywhere in the Marvel universe. We saw you. You were torturing Loki pretty good, which was lovely. That must have been fun.
I mean, for several reasons, guys. I feel like if there was anybody that needed to beat up Loki, it would be Lady Sif.
Extremely cathartic and very well deserved. Now, can you tell me about the training that you did, both for beating up Loki and for King B?
Oh, beating up Loki, that just came naturally. I was just like, look, I got this. I'll roll in.
Oh, se trabó. Está raro el internet ahora, medio chafón. A ver, déjenme ver porque voy a cerrar el YouTube Studio para que a ver si así tenemos como más chancecilla. Listo.
Stand there, don't move.
Really a badass.
That's right. I'll give you the money later.
I do think that I think it's interesting that you threw in two little humble brags, which was number one, you were moving a little faster than Tom.
That's just, I can't help myself. It's just a fact. It's a fact. I wasn't bragging. It was a fact.
And then number two, that it was a love tap fell down.
He was everyone. He was acting. That's what he told me.
You know, even though we've seen you jumping around in the MCU for a while, we have seen you in Thor proper for a little bit. How did it feel to kind of come back and be working with everybody again and be back with the team?
It was very nostalgic. Very.
Inglés al español.
We are so glad to have you back here.
No se puede. No me deja.
And for now, let's see what tomorrow is at.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Jamie, it is fun to see Jamie talk about this. Her sense of humor is on full display, but like it was really touching to see how much to her to back to the Thor universe. So I'm loving that. You know, there are so many people here who are such a big fan of this character and who have watched these movies over and over, and they all have their favorite parts. So we talked to some of the fans. As I mentioned, they've been here all day just waiting for the stars to show up. We talked to some of the fans about what's their favorite best moments from Marvel Studios. Thor Ragnarok.
Ay, anda raro, anda maletón el internet. Uf, creo que ya. Dicen, no, linterna. Ah, el internet, no. Ya ahí va.
Let's take a look.
Creo que ya,
Yeah, that's my friend from work. I still laugh every time I watch that one.
No sé por qué le aparecen aquí, deberían de aparecer más
My
abajo.
favorite stuff is when Thor works with his brother Loki, like when they do Get Help in Thor Ragnarok.
My favorite team up is Korg and Thor.
Pues es que está avanzando la pantalla, canijos subtítulos. Vamos a actualizar la página a ver si así cargan mejor los subtítulos. Ahí va. No se tarda en actualizar, ya está lista. Ahí va. Lo que pasa es que en el transmisor como que se tarda un poco, pero ya, de hecho ya está. Le pongo play. Ahí se me va el mouse. Listo, play. Ese es Hawkeye, según. Ok.
I have loved Thor's
Ay, no se deja.
journey point, and he has shown all of us as fans and as followers that you can have and a deep state of yourself, but always come back stronger and forward. So Thor's biggest enemy was himself, but he overcame
Voy
it.
a seguir intentando. La de Minions. Qué feo, ¿no? Que solo pasen puro en inglés.
Hey, I am here with Leah McHugh, who many of you know as Sprite from Marvel Studios' The Eternals. Welcome, Carpet.
I'm so excited to be here. Thor is my favorite superhero out of everyone. You can watch all my interviews, that's all I say. I can't breathe. I'm so excited for this movie.
All right, so when did you first fall in love with Thor?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I've been a Marvel fan before any of this. I mean, before this crazy thing happened to me. Since the very first movie, I think Thor was always my favorite.
And what about the rest of the Asgardians? Do you have any that you hold near and dear?
Loki and Thor are pretty close. I love them when they're together. They're funny.
Well, that kind of makes sense, actually, because, you know, Sprite is, we'll call Sprite a bit of a great character. You never know which way they're coming from, and Loki's similar, right?
People compare her to Loki all the time.
And so, being here, being in a Thor event, you know, we've got Stormbreaker, we've got the Hammer, we've got Zeus's Thunderbolt, or Zeus's Lightning Bolt. Which would you prefer to wield if you had the choice?
The Hammer. I think the Hammer. Definitely.
And where would you use it to travel to?
Oh my gosh. I have no idea. I mean, I like the beach. I like summer vacationing places, so like the Bahamas or somewhere fun.
Well, it's pretty steamy here today, so a beach vacation makes sense.
It's pretty
hot. Well, there's going to be a lot of hotness on the carpet, so, you know, that's good. I'm so curious what it's been like for you, you know, after Marvel Studios' The Eternals was released, and you've been part of this larger MCU, coming to events like that. Can you talk to the fans about what that feels like?
I mean, it's completely changed my life. Every time I come to a red carpet or anything, I always get so nervous and excited before it because I am so grateful and honored that I get to be here. I mean, I was a fangirl before any of this, and to just be able to come to like almost every Marvel movie red carpet is still insane to me, and I still am in awe every time I come here. And I mean, my life has changed so much, and I'm so grateful for all of it.
We love watching what you do on screen, and we're curious, you know, if there were something that you could say to the fans about, you know, just kind of what being a part of Marvel means to you and all of that.
It's a family, it really is, and
Tiene que haber la manera, ¿no? Para
so incredibly well. It just makes you want to keep back and doing more and making more movies and working for them forever. Yeah, it's definitely a very special thing to be a part of.
Well, we're so glad you're here, and thank you for stopping and talking to the fans. I'm going to let you go because I know you got to talk to other people and you want to see the movie. So have a great night.
See the movie.
Dice,
You're welcome. Great to see you. All right, what is happening over there at stage 1?
Erica is
no, pues sí, es que estoy
some of the
tratando
cosplayers
¿cómo se
Some
dice?
really good
De
cosplay
convertirlos en español,
and as
pero
I said,
no quiere,
you know,
entonces
I come from this world, so my D&D buddies are in the crowd.
Every time.
I see them, and
Every time somebody walks by in a new character, we just freeze for about 5 to 10 seconds.
That was a beautiful interview talking
Creo que ya
about being
encontré
a
una
fan
extensión.
before becoming part of this. I think that's something that ties everyone together, is that we were all just huge nerds for this since as long as we can remember.
I mean, these are stories, these are characters that have been around for 60, 70, 80 years, you know what I mean?
60 years for Thor now.
60 years for Thor this year, which is really amazing, and it's wonderful to see this cast as well, because you know that they are fans of it too. You know, who are you excited to see here? I am very excited, of course, to talk to Chris about what it is like to be playing Thor for 11 years and be the first Marvel hero to have 4 solo films. That is such a huge accomplishment.
Taika Waititi is my favorite director. I love what he does, and I love how much heart he has put into Thor and the Thor section of the universe, and how it's expanded and become
qué bueno, porque yo tampoco. Thor, ¿dónde estás? Pues yo creo que
Yeah,
están
Space is
guardando.
just a black light painting on the side of a custom van, really, and I love it. I love it so much. Of course, having Tessa Thompson coming back as King Valkyrie is so wonderful. In what, you know, new character in Thor Ragnarok, fan favorite instantaneously, and I would just love to talk to her about that because we haven't spoken to her since then.
I want to talk to her about the
Me ha
suits,
traído aquí
the
a...
power suits.
So many power suits on King Valkyrie.
Creo que
She's
ya
really
lo
leaning into that
tengo.
lifestyle, and I enjoy it. And of course, Natalie Portman returning as Jane Foster.
I am so
Sí, sí le
happy.
entendí
The
que
Mighty
Natalie
coming
Portman
back.
regresa como Jane
She's
Foster
coming
y
back
están
as
muy,
the Mighty Thor.
muy
This is such a huge
asombrados.
thing because obviously we
Creo
have
que
seen the
ya
story
están
of Thor and
dándole
Jane
extensión.
from Thor's perspective and mostly through the absence of Jane
Subtítulos
over the
del
last
video,
3 years.
traducir
I'm not gonna
subtítulos.
lie, I have loved the Thor films. They could use about 50% more Natalie Portman as Dr. Jane Foster.
And we've got it. We've got it coming.
I got it. I'm so excited. I'm very excited for tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
Voy a
everybody is going to be
actualizar la
showing
página,
up.
¿ok? Porque según esto ya deben de entrar los subtítulos en español. Perfecto, pero no, como que no
But you know the one
quiere.
I'm talking about with his pained grin
Creo que
that
ya.
has just been making the rounds on the internet. And
Voy a
everybody is
ver
like,
si lo
I
puedo
get this
cambiar.
guy. This is me when, is what people are saying.
That's the thing about every single enemy in Marvel Cinematic
A
Universe.
ver,
There's a
creo
little
que
part of
ahorita
you
ya
that's
deben
like,
de
oh,
aparecer
I
en
love
español.
them, though.
Es que no sé, es todo un rollo esto. Héroe Store. Sí, sí. Ahí va.
Or the gotcha
Perfecto.
and how you add that depth to it. So very exciting stuff.
No,
We have,
no
of
se
course, more from
traduce.
Tamara Krinsky over on Tamara, how you doing?
I am here with Kieran Dyer. We were just talking about the fact that he's new to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's been watching these premieres for years, right?
For a long time, yeah, but it's so great to be here, and I can't believe I am here. It's surreal, it's literally surreal. I can't, and it's so weird seeing the setup and everything. This is my first premiere as well.
We are so happy to welcome you. We're happy to welcome you to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I have to ask, what was it like when you got that call saying that you had booked this film?
Lots and lots of screaming. Lots and lots of screaming.
The good kind, I hope.
Oh yeah, the good kind.
Voy a mover
I was
los
kind of shocked at
subtítulos,
first, I guess. I
¿ok?
couldn't believe it. And then when they
Pero
flew
no
us
se
out to
quieren
Australia, and
traducir.
it was crazy.
So what was it like filming in Australia? I mean, don't give us any spoilers, of course, but what was it like being down there with the
Okay.
cast?
It was really great. I mean, the cast are amazing. They were so nice. Chris, Taika, all of them, they were really nice. It was really nice. I could learn from them as well, because obviously they've been active time, they've been playing their part for a long time, so I learned a lot from them. It was really great to just be able to watch them and see how they work with improvisation and stuff like that as well. So.
I want to ask you more about that, actually. You know, is there something that you learned from them that you think now you'll take to other sets with you? Anything in particular that you'd pass along to other people?
Yeah, probably improvisation, because I hadn't done much of that before. And obviously Taika, he loves improvising, he loves trying out new stuff, and it's crazy, it's really nice. So I guess I could take that elsewhere when I do other films and stuff like that, and I'd be able to just have fun and play around with lines and stuff like that.
I've got to ask you a little bit more about Checa. If you were to describe like the role he plays, the style of directing, is he like a big brother? Is he like a funny uncle? Is he a tyrant? What's he like on
Espero
set?
que con esta extensión ya
A bit of all three, I guess. He's a big guy to have on set. He's really nice to talk to, really helps you. He's just a great director, and obviously he acts in the film as well, which is really cool. But yeah, he's been great. He's amazing. He really helped me to feel comfortable and be able to play my role as I should. And yeah.
You know, we know it was a combination of digital sets and like.
That was really, obviously somewhere that had CGI, and then they built real sets, which was really amazing, and it was incredible because the sets were so big, they were so bright, and yeah, it was really great. And on the blue screens, I guess it was a bit hard to film because you didn't know what was going to be there or what it was going to look like at the time. But yeah, it was great.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Fans, to be your first Cinematic Universe red carpet. Have an amazing night. Congrats.
Bye-bye.
I love watching new people. So cool to see how excited they are, especially when it's somebody who's been a fan of the MCU for all this time. And I cannot wait for people to see what he does in this film. Now, I'm just curious, what is going on over at stage 1?
I will tell you what is going on, Tamara.
No se puede traducir.
Cool.
God
un Doctor Strange, una Capitana
himself has
Marvel.
stepped onto the red carpet,
Be cool.
and the fans are going, wow!
Ahí está Chris Hemsworth, ahí está.
Point Break is in the building. Repeat, Point Break is in the building.
Pero no se pone
This is very exciting. It's lovely to see like everybody. I mean, we've got so many Thors in the audience, so many people that have brought Mjolnir with them, and it's like meeting Chris and having everything signed. This is a really great moment.
Some of my favorite moments on the carpet happen in the moments when they're on the walk up to the interview, where they get ambushed by some of their friends in the cast, or where they meet somebody that clearly says something that touches them, and really wonderful to see, and I'm really happy that we get to have the fans here with us on the carpet tonight.
So wonderful, man, and I'll tell you, as he is showing up, everybody else is showing up. There are a ton of people that we are excited to see tonight. Look, the Guardians of the Galaxy are in this film. They are there.
They certainly are.
And I absolutely love the tiny bit of interaction between Thor and the Guardians that we've already seen.
It's so fun. I feel like Thor Ragnarok really established Thor as just a funny dude, and getting to see him with the Guardians, who are generally as well, has just been such a treat. And so I would watch an entire spin-off series with that group of space people.
Absolutely, and we're going to see some of them tonight. I mean, you know, hopefully we're gonna see like. I mean, I would love to speak to Sean Gunn. Honestly, there's a character that came out of nowhere and had a full arc and story in Guardians.
Well, and he's been working with his brother James Gunn behind the scenes on that franchise for a while now too. He did a lot of the original capture for Rocket.
Yep.
And let me tell you something, as somebody who's done a little mocap, is that doing animal work, difficult. Very fun, but difficult.
If I could, if I could ask, like, if you were going to do a raccoon right now.
Oh, okay, so they do this thing where they, like, wash with their hands and they, like, scuttle. I've been doing a lot of that.
This is what you've tuned in to see. This is what the Marvel fans want.
My Trash Panda fam is something that I've studied very closely, and so I can say with authority that Sean Gunn's raccoon moves, aces.
Obviously, one of the things that we want to see is some more of this Thor and Star-Lord interaction, because here are two guys that are mostly ego, that are mostly wisecracking, that mostly think of themselves as the one in charge.
Yes.
And it's very lovely to see, just in that 15 seconds we saw, the power struggle between the two of them.
Who's captain on that ship?
Exactly.
I suppose. And who, I don't know, who would you pick as captain?
Who would I pick?
Yeah. Who would you take your orders from?
Rocket.
Okay. Yes. That is correct, Anthony.
We've got some more coming up here from the stage in just a moment, but first we want to show you some more of this fantastic setup we have here at the premiere, including a little exhibition that we like to call the Hall of Heroes, Eric and Yushi. Look.
So here I am, all the way at the end of the carpet. Here in just a short while, and filmmakers are going to make their way down and head into the theater for the world premiere of the film. But before they do, we have an awesome surprise for them. An incredible display of costumes from Marvel Studios' Thor. Let's take a look. But first, we have a little bonus surprise for you. Head of the lovable Tooth Gnasher, one half of the famous goat pair. Since the goats are so large in the film, they use these very heads on set to help the actors with the eye lines. Now we have Zeus, played by Russell Crowe. Now we're gonna have to wait and see exactly how his role plays out in the film, but we can see that his costume invokes regal qualities. It features gold accents and a chest plate that's befitting of a Greek god, and works in tandem with his famous lightning bolt. Next to him, we have the mighty Thor, played by Natalie Portman, who becomes a hero in her own right. Now, many parts of this look were created to reflect what we know as Thor's original hero costume, including the iconic red cape. But Dr. Jane Foster is very much her own person, so this mighty Thor has definitely put her own spin on what it means to possess the power of Thor. And here we have Thor, our god of thunder, who's gotten a new look for this film. You'll notice that the costume builds on many of the usual elements of his traditional space Viking look, but the designers have taken it to the next level with new gold plating and more metal used throughout the costume, including his new double set of shoulder plates and awesome new helmet. And now we have Valkyrie's costume. The team really wanted this costume to represent a merging together of all of the different roles that Valkyrie has played in her life, from a Valkyrie warrior to a scrapper, and even King of Asgard. Next up, we've got Gorr's look, worn by Christian Bale in the film. Gorr's look is incredibly monochromatic, so the designers put textures and movement within the fabric to give life to this costume and create his unique sinister look. And now we have the other half of our goat pair, Tooth Grinder. The costumes in this film are incredible, and I cannot wait to see all of the cosplay that they're going to inspire. And with that, let's head back to the front of the carpet.
Pues tampoco lo tengo. Vean, ahí están.
Oh my goodness, everybody milling through now, signing autographs. Everybody is showing up. We are joined right now by somebody that we are very excited to talk to, Jennifer Caden Robinson, the writer of Thor Ragnarok, co-writer of Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah, did not write Thor Ragnarok. Did co-write Thor Love and Thunder.
Right, we're all caught up now.
So you can tell us almost exactly nothing about this.
Yeah, I can tell you nothing. I can tell you Thor is in it. The mighty Thor is in it. Valkyrie is in it. Thor is not.
But here's what you can tell us. You can tell us, you know, previous to this, you worked as a consulting producer on Hawkeye, and that was your first entry into the MCU. How has it been, and what was it like working with Taika on kind of creating this new Thor movie?
Okay, I feel like people use this word a lot in this industry, and but I really genuinely when I say Taika is a genius, and being able to be around him and to learn from him and to just watch him work was the coolest thing I've ever experienced in this industry. It is like if you ever have the opportunity to go on TV, I highly recommend it.
So okay, I'll make a note of that.
Yes. So he also famously does a lot of improvisation. Were there moments that the cast found or that he found, oh, I gotta expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, it was such a living kind of document. And it was like, we would have something, and then we would change it, and then 10 minutes later we would change it, and it would just like, kept evolving, and it was such a collaboration between myself, Taika, the actor, Ryan, Payback, our producer, like Kevin, everybody involved really has a piece of this film in such a special way because Taika fosters an environment where everybody has a voice.
That's so wonderful. And I am so excited to see this movie, Jennifer, because I think it is so funny and so sweet and so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Mara, what you got going on?
Oh, no, just hanging out, watching people walk by.
People walking by. And to hear Jennifer talk about the collaborative environment on set. You know, so often writers kind of get shafted, and it was amazing to hear her talk about how much Checa and she worked together, and the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe
está fallando el
bring
internet.
this world to fruition. You know, there's so many new elements that we get to see in this film, as well as places that we get to visit, and knitting that all together is really challenging. It took a huge creative team to do that. And the fact that they all work so closely together, they've involved new technology together. You know, there's a new thing that they've used in this film called the volume.
Es una prueba para que se puede traducir.
New technology, which is a complete 360 digital set. So instead of actors being on a green screen or a blue screen and having to just kind of imagine what's going on around them, they're actually surrounded by their environment and they get to see it in real time. The light reflects off their faces in real time. It's pretty amazing. And then they take that and they combine that with incredible practical sets that they build.
Que ya sé qué podemos
and it creates
hacer,
just
okay?
a seamless whole that's really incredible to see.
Ahí va,
and
ahí
you know,
va.
for the actors, they've talked about the fact
Voy a
that the
poner mi
combination of these
teléfono y además
production
voy a poner
sets
esto.
where they get to walk on real cobblestones in places like New Asgard
Creo que ya sé qué podemos hacer para que se traduzca.
allows them just to
No,
imagine
no
things
tengo
in
Easy, no es
entirely
falla de
different
internet.
ways.
Es que
You know,
estoy
and for the
viendo
first time,
cómo
like they
se
don't have to
puede
necessarily
traducir.
talk to a tennis
Creo
ball on the
que ya
top of
sé
a
cómo.
pole when they're trying to imagine something, or they can actually, you know, sit on set and look out and see the sunset that they're talking with. So it's pretty incredible when you think about how far advances have come when it comes to creating all of these worlds that amazing comic book artists and writers have imagined and been able to draw. And now film technology has caught up to that. And Marvel Studios is so good at putting
Creo
that
que
together
ya sé
and
cómo
putting
lo
things on
podemos
screen.
traducir, ¿eh?
So who are you
Voy a
guys
intro
talking to
para,
right now?
para
What do you have
disfrutarlo
coming up?
mejor,
What are you seeing over
porque
there?
si no, imagino estar aquí con la intriga de qué dicen.
So we are.
Oh, sorry. No, please.
We are here with Mr. Christian Bale, who plays Gore the God Butcher.
Ahí está Christian Bale. Es el actor que antes se llamaba a Batman.
They recognize him.
Ahora es
So how does it feel to join the MCU?
It's been a lot of bloody fun. Yeah, some good people. I'm in very good company.
I gotta ask, a character with the name like Gore the God Butcher, I feel like I hear that, I know exactly what Gore the God Butcher is about. How do you bring some more depth and nuance to that? Is that something that you talked with Taika about? Because he's a guy that butchers gods.
Yeah, his name is self-explanatory, and you know, he is a butcher. But he's crazy talented, and he manages to have great. That's where the whole kind of nuances that you're talking about come into play in this film.
See, he was just doing that thing that we have just talked around something, but I get what you're saying. I heard from people on the set, I mean, Tessa and Chris, they said, we really enjoyed working with Christian. Kind of terrified to talk to him when he was done up as Gore. He was almost too frightening to speak to.
Creepy. I like, obviously, Nosferatu was an influence, and also I love videos, Come to Daddy, that, right? Now, you can't do that full on and still have it be a family-friendly film. People would run in for the exits. But believe me, we did shoot that.
Gritan porque sí le entienden, pero nosotros no.
I gave Taika lots of choices. I don't blame him, he was a creepy fellow to be around. And then on top of that, I had these fangs, so I couldn't really talk to anybody because every so I just gave up.
That's another thing, is you underwent an complete makeup transformation, and that happened every single day. What was it like having to sit in the chair for all of that? Did it get easier?
You got place. I've done it a few times in my career. I realised I was going to do it on this one actually, but effects makeup artist Adam Johansson and Carly, they are as responsible as I am for creating this character. They were wonderful characters, and it was a nice little transition into the Gore each and every morning.
That transition was not only costume, but movement and speech as well. Can you talk us through a little bit of that process?
Yeah, you know, you don't really know what you're going to do until you're looking in the mirror, especially with something with that much prosthetics. And, you know, that we had planned the whole dance that Taika and I had planned. We didn't get to shoot it again. That will be for another film. The whole Gore dance, and so with a lot of his movements and styles, and to teach that to my wonderful stunt doubles as well, who adopted this movement very well.
I love that.
We were robbed, everyone.
We were robbed.
Much of it was deal with these very long acrylic nails, which hats off to anyone who has to deal with acrylic nails. I couldn't do anything all day with them.
But I love how much you find the enjoyment in this. I mean, you know, you obviously have to, but it comes through so much in the performance and in the character of Gore. I was just overjoyed every time you were on screen. It was so much fun to watch Gore doing his thing.
You're obviously a very sick man.
Yes!
Be overjoyed to watch Butcher doing his butchering.
You know, that's between me and my counselor, but yeah, you're not too far off.
But that's the thing, though, is that I was saying this earlier, that every enemy in the MCU, there's a grain of truth that they say, and they have a lot of their supporters. How do you feel like there was something with Gore that would make everybody go, he's kind of right?
Well, I mean, let's make no mistake. He is a butcher. He is a monster. But, yeah, there might be something that you see where you go, I'm a little conflicted here. You might just find a little bit of understanding in him.
We look forward to getting to know and understand him more. Thank you so much for talking with us, Mr. Bale.
Christian Bale, everybody! Samara, how you doing?
I am doing great because I am here with Sean Gunn, aka Kraglin. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I couldn't be better, I guess. I'm very happy to be here.
Well, you were just saying that it's cool to come here because you're seeing so many friends on the carpet. Is there anyone in particular you're reuniting with or seeing?
You know, I haven't seen, you know, the Guardians, we just wrapped Guardians 3, you know, a handful of weeks ago. So
a ver, compartir pantalla completa, compartir con audio, compartir. Listo.
He shot the movie, so it's it'll be great to see everybody and to see the movie.
I know, that's the fun part of this. You're going to finally see it in a theater with people. Wait, I have to ask you what it was like. Obviously, you and James have worked together a lot on the Guardians. So what's it like being under someone else?
You know, Taika is just amazing. He's a force of nature, and I kind of couldn't believe how fun his set is. It's very much, you know, he's very chill and kind of anything goes, and it's a great situation to sort of let loose and let your best self come out. He's very different from my brother. My brother's very different from the Russos. The Russos are very different from Taika. All directors are different, and I love that. That's what makes movies unique, right?
And yet you get to bring Kraglin to all of them. So I am curious, you know, what is the one thing that Kraglin you kind of keep consistent for each time we see him?
Well, you know, for Kraglin, I'm always aware that Kraglin is on quite a journey. From the first movie to the second movie to now what we're going to see in Thor, and then there's a lot. You know, I don't want.
No spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers.
And Dart, but I am. But Kraglin, we will see Kraglin in the third Guardians movie and in the Christmas special, and so Kraglin's always growing. It's always like what new can we find from this guy, and hopefully, you know, his journey is something that people respond to.
Well, I know they're going to. You are so much fun to watch in this. Have a great time watching it tonight, and thank you so much for stopping by and talking to the fans.
I hope everybody loves the movie. Thanks for having me. This is the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate
Bye. And that is Sean Gunn. It's so great to see people here. It's have this incredible mix of Guardians and Asgardians. And now we're going to go to stage one to see what's happening over there.
Oh, I'll tell you what's happening over here. We're joined by the God of Thunder, Chris Hemsworth.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Chris, I got to ask you, you're kind of a fitness guy. You've got an app. You try to stay in okay shape. What was it like for you to know that the internet was talking more about biceps than yours this time around?
I was glad. I trained her. You know?
Really?
Yeah, that was all my doing.
You did that.
Can you...
Her commitment and my motivation and teaching, yeah.
So when she comes up, if we're to ask her, how did you get into shape?
I wouldn't ask her that. No. Let's just keep that between us.
Okay. She doesn't like to talk too much about it.
Okay, so do you have some advice for other aspiring?
Le voy a transmitir en pestaña para que ustedes puedan verlo mejor. Compartir. Listo. Y habilitar.
It was like, I mean, obviously, we've been hearing a lot about the story of Jane and Thor from Thor's perspective, mostly through ghosted answering calls and voice and things like that. What was it like, not just to have Jane come back, but to have Natalie come back for this one?
Fantastic. I started this journey with Natalie 11, 12 years ago, and Taika pitched this story to me a few years ago, and I was thrilled and excited, but mostly to work with Natalie again. She's a dear friend and incredibly talented, and I love what she had done in the previous films. But she and all of us were excited to see a different side of the character, and that's what we have in this film, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, and talking about that journey, you are now the first actor, the first Marvel hero to have 4 solo films. That's kind of crazy, huh?
That's cool, yeah. That's exciting and humbling, and I don't know if they're trying to usher me out to the finish line quickly and get on with it.
Now, you know, Chris, everybody else did 3, so...
Right, we squeeze one more. I do a Marvel film. I think this is the last one, and not for me, but I think someone's going to be sick of me, and to be asked back again and again, and to be here with 8, 9, was it 8 or 9 films now with Marvel is a dream. So.
Thor around in Ragnarok, and it seems like you have a lot of fun with these.
Absolutely, and look, it's going to do something very different, and that comes from working with different directors. In particular, when Taika came along, both of us had said we're ready for something differently creatively from the character, and it was a beautiful script that offered us that opportunity. But he is a master at sort of direction, and just knew he'll change it and give you something else, and that's what makes there's sort of unpredictable films. But my experience with the Marvel films that we've done together has just been unlike anything else I've done.
In Ragnarok, we saw Thor kind of trying to come to terms with who his family is and who he is, and sort of being comfortable with himself. And I thought that was such a fun thing to see. Is Thor's journey this time in Love and Looking For?
Without giving too much away, it's a journey of there's a story in there. You know, I think Todd wanted to make a romantic comedy set in space, and it's that crazy and wild, unique and different. And you know, yeah, as I said, as to the character, you'll have to tune in and see.
Well, we get to see it. We cannot wait for everybody else to see it. Chris Hemsworth, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Excited for you all to see. Have a great night.
You too. Take care. Oh my goodness. So much happening.
Wow. We're going to go over to Tamara. Tamara, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's fun to watch all the actors and dance around answering our questions, and yet really being able to say anything, because they've all been trained so well to avoid spoilers. But I have to say, I love listening to Chris Hemsworth talk about the journey of time. Has been through so much. I mean, he's like his dad, his brother, his friends. He's trying to figure out his Thor. I kind of want to start that for Thor. But there's actually a story that he's told in interviews about being on the set of and hearing folks talk about Studios Captain America Civil War in it. So he thought that he was done. And I'm so glad that we've got a 4th Thor movie, because it's just amazing to him on this journey. What's happening on your stage right now?
Right now, we have the mighty Thor herself. Natalie, everyone!
Oh, Natalie, welcome back to the MCU.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be
to have another lady superhero, but also another in STEM in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I agree. I'm so happy to be back. I feel so lucky to be back with this crew.
Now, when Taika pitched this storyline to you, what was your reaction?
I was so excited to get to work with Chris and Tessa again. I worked with Tessa not on Annihilation before, so I was so thrilled to get the opportunity to work with Taika for the first time, who's just such an extraordinary talent.
Were you able to improvise a lot?
It was a learning process for sure. I definitely have like renewed respect for it. Checa and Chris and Tessa are able to come up with on the fly among the many incredible people who are in this. It was a joy every day to get to watch.
It seems like it's just a group of people that really trust each other, really loves to collaborate with each other, really loves to like listen and work with each other.
Everyone was really having a great time.
Excelente.
I want to talk about the moment
gracias.
at San Diego
Muchas
Comic Con
gracias,
2019 when you came out and THOR ODINSON got to you. I wanted. How did it feel for you in that moment?
It was surreal. I mean, THOR and finding humor in every and spontaneity in every it was really fun and exciting to get to come out to the world that way.
And speaking of moments,
you
know, one thing that we had talked about with Chris just now is that we have heard the story of Jane and Thor from Thor's perspective for so long, and it's been so interesting to see. What are we going to see from Jane's perspective? You know, what is Jane feeling and what has Jane been up to?
Find out. But yes, that is an exciting question.
I love it. And then finally, how does it feel to know? You know, Hemsworth is just so proud of how he is. How does it feel to know that people are talking more about your biceps than his?
Well, I mean, Hemsworth is the ultimate. I mean, he's incredible, and it was very lucky to have him as the sort of like expert and guide who was very generous with sharing the kind of info. And it's really fun to get to be a 6-foot character when you're a 5'3" girl. You know, that doesn't happen often in your life.
The magic of cinema.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you. So nice to see you.
All right, now there is a lot of facts that I know about Thor, and a lot of facts that you know about Thor. But let's see what the fans know about Thor.
I'm Mike.
I'm Andrew.
And we're doing Thor Trivia!
Yeah!
Thor Trivia. A ver qué nos podemos ganar.
All right, Thor, Avengers, Thor, the Dark Avengers, Age of Ultron. Then it's also
we got Thor. We got the Avengers. We got Ultron. We got Thor Ragnarok. We got Avengers Infinity War. We got Endgame, and now we got Thor: Love and Thunder.
It is Vision, Thor, Odin, Jane Foster, and Captain. Yeah, that's all of them, right?
It is Thor. It is Vin. It is Captain America. It is Jane Foster, and that's about it.
Hela, Loki, Odin. We have Thor, of course, and then Heimdall. I'm out of time.
There's Odin, there's Hogan, there's Fandral, there's Valkyrie.
Bueno, ya me voy a comer. Bueno, Chile son 9:40, ok. Aquí son las 8:40, una hora. Ay, 6 de julio.
Ooh, they're smart. I can tell you less things about Norse mythology, but I think they have a beat on specifically MCU's Thor. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, we got a president.
We were hoping for alligator Loki, but
Listen,
I mean,
this is no shade to President Loki, who I love. But
that's right. And a reminder, if you see costumes that you like, please share it with us. Make sure to follow us on all the socials at Marvel, at Thor Official, and use the hashtag Thunder. Hello. Oh my goodness. Yes, they are all going wild. And right now we have with us Hello, sir.
didn't even ask them to do that.
Okay, did you ask them to do that?
You say so. Good.
Favorite films, one of our favorite films for sure, and so we're in the world to see Love and Thunder. You came in, and Chris has talked about, so you came in and you kind of wanted to shake things up in a very big way. All of you did. Can you talk about what you kind of wanted to do with when you came in?
On the first one, it was really just about Chris's strengths, you know. Like, I'm good friends with him, and he's, he's the kind of guy that you want to be on an adventure with in real life. And so, we just wanted to like really embrace that and work with his strengths, which is he's just good at everything. And so, and then on this new one, we wanted to take it a little and introduce this concept of love and what that means to Thor.
Let me ask you, how did you have to convince anybody to let you make Thor a himbo? Do you know himbo?
Well, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a.
I like bimbo, but
Yes, like a golden retriever man. Yes.
I mean, I don't think I had to convince anyone at all, really. No.
Really? They just let you do it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, I think everyone knows. Yeah, it's exploitation, really, isn't it?
But it's about time.
Yeah.
So,
we had some exploitation in the film industry. Now, I want to ask, you said you wanted to tell a love story. Why was it so important to bring Jane back now and tell this story?
Well, because she's a beloved character, and also Natalie's a beloved actor, and and I've got a lot of love for her. I've admired her for many years, and even just to have the chance just to work with her was huge for me. And to bring her back and to take that character from the comics, the mighty Thor, and for her to hold the hammer, it's just a beautiful progression and evolution of the franchise.
I heard that you went to her house personally and pitched the storyline to her.
Yeah, I dropped off some comic books with that storyline in it, but I think it's these films. Luckily, Ragnarok, I think, was probably something that that really maybe open that door a little bit more, Yeah.
People saw what you could do with it. Yeah.
Now, we're also introducing some other characters that I love from that same run of comics and a little bit later, with especially Gore, the God Butcher. I love it.
Well, I mean, at Marvel, so me and Brad Winderbaum, right from the start, we were thinking about what we were going to do. We wanted Jane as Mighty Thor. We'd always loved Gore. We were at that comic run, and so that really was like the first idea for a villain, was to bring him in, and then Tigan was just that was just like, for me, just again, I'm really amazed with all the actors I managed to get into this film, like real heavyweights, and it's been amazing.
Now, Christian said that their cut from the film is a Gore dance number. Can you explain or show us any of this Gore dance that exists?
I can't show it to you. Christian owns that. That's his. He copyright answers. I don't know if you know that about him.
Right.
But yeah, I wanted to. We were just exploring different ways, with villains and what we could do with them, and that was an idea that came about. And you just need them, and not amazing dancers.
Yeah, that's the problem. And that doesn't work for a villain.
Too relatable a villain.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for talking to us today. Show the world this movie.
Oh, tomorrow going on.
What's going on is that I am here with executive producer Victoria Alonso, and we were just talking about the amazingness of Taika Waititi.
We are so blessed to have his talent, his joy, and his never-ending energy to bring another Thor to the world. How exciting is that, right? I mean, we started, I know, Thor 4. That's a hard one to say, Thor 4, especially for a foreigner.
I was trying to start a 4 for Thor chant, and then I realized I just to say 4 for Thor for blah, 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 blah.
No, that would be a big, yeah, that would be it, yeah. No, but it's super exciting to have him and the mighty Thor. So we have Miss Portman as well, which is, again, another.
I asked you about the origin story of how you all decided that this was the right time for the Mighty Thor and bringing in the story from the comics.
Well, we have a trajectory where we have our regular Thor, our Thor, and then as you can see when you go see the movie, I'm not going to give you a lot of details because otherwise you're not going to go see it. And I expect you all to see it 4 times. That it makes sense how to get her there, and in this love story to make sure that the mighty of the could unite.
Really beautiful, and it's really funny, and there's this beautiful relationship between Valkyrie and this beautiful friendship. Can you talk about bringing that to the screen without spoilers?
I think it's a true buddy. They're buddies. I mean, Thor and Valkyrie are buddies, and she's doing the job that he said, I don't want to do. Please be king and take it over. And I think that throughout their time together, they learn about each other, and they not only do they learn about how to meander through this to be true.
Ya se les trabó allá. Sí, es allá. Es allá, porque aquí no me...
Friendships over time. Thor has been on such a journey.
A mí me marca, es de allá.
Of the world they're going to be living, so it's super helpful to the characters, and it's new technology, so there's a lot to do, a lot to learn about it. I always have all kinds of criticism, as people know, to make it better, so we can do it to make it better.
Well, that's your job. Thank you for pushing the envelope all the time. It's such a joy to always talk to you. Thanks for talking to the fans.
I say to all the fans out there, thank you for your support. Better, so is available, so please go see it in any format all over the world. Thank you.
2D, 3D, 4D.
For all of them. For Thor, all of them.
All right. Have a great time tonight. Enjoy the movie. Thank you. Great to see you. All right. We are so excited to keep talking to people who are involved with Thor. Let's keep taking a look.
Anthony, we can't talk about anything in this movie, but we can talk a little bit about the new hero and new villain.
That's right. We are very excited to see the mighty Thor, Jane Foster, and also we've talked a lot about Gorr the God Butcher. But who are they really? Their likes and their dislikes.
Jane?
El trailer. ¿Cuál es el que vimos al principio?
What's it been, like 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, give or take.
This is my vow. All gods will die.
You are not like the other gods that have killed, because I have something worth fighting for.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Rated PG-13. Tickets on sale now.
Watching all of these clips jumps out. I mean, a lot of things jump out, but one thing that obviously jumps out is the aesthetic choices of this film.
It is so easy and so powerful, so heavy metal, and a lot of that is due to the visual effects team.
Yeah, some of the views, I mean, look. Two giant screaming goats.
2 of my favorite characters in the new film, almost entirely computer
¿Saben qué? Para los que
generated.
quieran
The
traducir,
goats, Tooth
busquen así de
Gnasher,
un
Tooth
teléfono y
Grinder.
pongan
But
el
also,
traductor
just
de
looking at
Google.
the environments, looking at the locations, the places this movie goes, and the technology that they use to create it. I mean, they're using things like the volume, they're using things like these giant LED backgrounds where actors can sort of see what they're doing in space that they're
That's
in.
new because we're used to seeing the behind-the-scenes shot in just the green screen space, and this was a fully immersive, just set the volume in which they could act a little more organically.
Yeah. And of course, the wide range of features and characters that show up that are entirely CG. I mean, Korg obviously comes to mind.
Korg, my favorite boy!
Business Meek, a brand new Meek.
Okay, so Meek's power suit. I think that's not a spoiler.
No, that's in the trailer.
But Meek's power suit, something to watch for in this film. Yes.
But obviously, everything they do and everywhere they go due to this incredible VFX team and their little look at how those VFX were created for this film.
God of Thunder, King Khan, you have finally joined our fight.
Well, as they say, better late than not at all.
This is very nice. As you know, we used to live in a peaceful oasis, but then our gods were murdered. And now our sacred temple has been left unguarded, and Hokus holds the control of its power. It is our most sacred shrine, and it desecrated.
Not for long. King Khan, tell them what happened here today.
Tell them to tie in the Thor.
Tag the motley crew,
Misfit Desperados, found tied in the battle.
That's their names in history. The odds may be against us, but I'll tell you this for free.
Here it comes.
This ends here and now!
Okay. Ya nos spoilearon buena
We have a
parte de la-
wonderful moment happening right now. Is checking out a cosplayer who is an amazing Nebula cosplayer, if I may say.
I will never get over the interactions of the fans and their beautiful work, getting to meet the people who embody those characters on screen, and vice versa.
Speaking of which, here's Karen Gillan right now. Oh, hi, that's you. Welcome. We just saw that Nebula cosplay.
That was really cool. I've seen 2 Nebulas so far, and the makeups have been completely intricate and incredible. And I'm like, how are you doing that yourselves? It takes 2 people about 4 hours to do it to me. So I'm very impressed.
Has that gotten a little easier over time?
Yeah, it has actually. Yeah, it started off as about 5 hours on the first Guardians film, and now we have it down to about 3 hours. And it's just much more streamlined.
Now, we saw about maybe 15, 30 seconds of Thor and the Guardians interacting at the end of Endgame, and we kind of saw a little bit about what that is. I can't say too much, but can you give us a general, what's the vibe between the Guardians and Thor?
The vibe is really fun. I would say the vibe is bonkers. Taika, the director, has such a specific style and tone. It's completely bonkers. He has his own brand of humor in a way, and so I think you're going to see the Guardians kind of plopped into that world and that sort of sense of humor. So you're going to see a more bonkers side of them, and yeah, it's going to be funny to see them interacting with each other.
And it feels like, though, between James and y'all and everything you've been doing on Guardians and everything Taika and the team have been doing on Thor, space is just sort of like a bonkers, wacky place sometimes.
I think it is. And the weird thing is probably like a lot. I've spent in space now at this point, so it's becoming really normal to me. And more bonkers on Earth.
Nebula is in some ways very much the straight man a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And he still managed to get those zingers in.
Yeah, she's a very seriously, and in that I kind of find a lot of comedy, because there's nothing more funny than someone who's like reacting really seriously to something when everyone's kind of finding the humor in it. And so in that sense, I find her funny, even though she's very much like on the straighter side of things. She's an angry former sadist.
She's so angry.
She's an angry woman.
And not to stifle that emotional expression, because it's good for women to be angry sometimes.
If she's angry, she should be angry.
Tell us a little bit about how things went on Guardians. Is everything? I know you can't talk about that either, but can you just let us know a little bit about how it went and how you're feeling about it?
It was such an amazing experience. I loved working on that movie so much. I'm like about to burst. I loved it. It was so good. I just loved where the character went. I loved working with James again. I'm so glad that he was back with us. And it was like the family got reunited, and we kind of taking it to a whole new life. There might be maybe closing out a chapter of sorts, and so it was a little bit bittersweet in a sense, but I think everybody is kind of like just up to it for this one.
Did it feel kind of different? How was it for you to have Nebula be a full-fledged part of the crew and just be able to kind of be on that side of things, where you get to be a little bit more like, wow?
To be excited to be like, am I a fully fledged Guardian? Yes, I think I am. And I was like, I did not think that was going to happen the time I played the character in the first film. So to actually really be part of the team and kind of, just feel a part of it in that way was an honor.
And did you and Sean have to eat at a different lunch table until Guardians 3, and now you get to eat at the big lunch table with the cool kids? Is that how it worked?
Okay, so not literally, but metaphorically, yes.
Well, we are glad to have you at the cool kids table now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking with us, Karen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Tamara, what you got going on? Who you with?
Oh my gosh, there is so much going on down here. So Christian Bale just walked by, Chris Hemsworth just walked by, and I have to say, like, the nice. That's okay. Oh, good. Christian Bale, you can bump into me anytime you
Se le está trabando a ellos.
want to. That was our gore, and as I
No, creo que ya lo estamos. Voy a confirmar que no sea yo, pero a mí me carga bien. Nada, es que el video sí es el que no. Entonces, digo, me aparece que está perfectamente la señal aquí desde este. Entonces el problema ahí ya es de ellos, ¿ok? Miren, de todos modos,
Chris Hemsworth just walked by. Hello. I said, thank you so much. We've chatted with you. You chatted with my friends Erica and Anthony. He was like, I know, but I just wanted to stop by and say hello. Ridiculously charming, the essence of a movie star. But I mean, this... Okay, I don't know if you all heard that screaming. I'm not sure who they're screaming for. Oh, no, they're seeing Chris.
Otra vez les fue.
They're waving at him. They're screaming for him.
Voy a bajar la calidad para
It's so exciting here. There's so much going on. And I love watching that interview with...
Okay. Voy a ponerle 480 y ya veo si es el mío. Y a ver, voy a ver.
Karen Gillan, she is a fellow member of the Ginger Club. So it was great to hear her talk with you guys about the cool kids table and what's going on. The other thing that's really cool is seeing all the executives greet each other, and you know, they've all worked so hard on this movie. And so to hear Luis D'Esposito talk about the fact that this is actually the night that makes him the most nervous. He's seen the film already a bunch of times through the production process. But all of these executives, all of these filmmakers care just as much as we do about delivering a fantastic movie for the fans. It's pretty amazing, and you see that heart on screen, you see that artisanship, you see all the care that they put into it. So it's really fun to see it all manifesting here as they greet each other. And right now we've got Chris, we've got Christian over there talking to folks, and it's great to see all of this happening and feel all this incredible energy. What's happening over at your stage?
Yeah, I didn't go. I watched the live stream. I wasn't there.
We are here on the stage with the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Feige.
Hey there.
Kevin Feige, did you see Tamara Krinsky steal Christian Bale's wallet? Did you see that happen?
It was like thievery to me.
He brushed up against her real quick, and it was gone like that.
Wow.
Oh, Tamara, sniffing. Here's Chris.
Right,
have the police been called?
Well, you know, this is a self-contained environment, so there's no, we have jurisdiction here.
Okay. Claim, you sure do.
That was a big snitch energy, though, Anthony.
I'm sorry. I immediately snitch. Kevin, I just want to, this is so wonderful. 29 Marvel films now with Love and Thunder, and the momentum is just picking up. How's it feeling?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing every time we're on this carpet. It feels amazing. This is our first solo part 4. So that's exciting, and look at the energy here. I said to Chris, I said this feels like your first one. It's awesome. And Taika, we had to go out of our way to Ragnarok 2. And it's not, it's Taika will tell you, but it's that renewed Taika energy followed us in for years and years into this movie.
I think we all sort of fell in love with the world that he created in Thor. And so what we can feel like we can safely say what the tone might be for this one, but what's the genre of this one? Because every Marvel film is pretty much a different genre.
This genre is it's the Taika Waititi genre, which is onto itself, and as he said, there's a ton of fun, as you've seen in all the trailers, but Taika did say, I don't want to do Ragnarok 2. I want to tell a new story, and the title is there. I mean, there is a lot of emotion in this, which in Ragnarok, but particularly in many of Taika's other movies, you see that balance, and that's really what the entire cast brings in this one.
And I know that, you know, we've talked before, you were a huge comics guy before you got into this. How did it feel to be sort of adapting this Jason Aaron run, which was a hugely influential run, and bringing back Jane as Thor, which was a hugely influential run on the comics?
Two great runs. That was stories. They were influential for Ragnarok, even just getting the tone and getting the idea of what that movie could be and how continuation of the Thor franchise could be. And that both Gorr and the Mighty Thor are in this. Gorr and the Mighty Thor in Thor 4.
More! There it is. Kevin, before you leave, just drop one thing that you're not supposed to drop. Just one big secret right here. Just look right in the camera.
About what?
About anything.
I've not seen the Obi-Wan Kenobi yet.
Whoa!
I've not seen it. No! I usually stay up and watch it, and I didn't this time.
Cut to tomorrow. Cut to tomorrow. We cannot
Help us out here.
I don't know what's going on over there. Brad Winterbaum and I are over here talking about Marvel Studios' Miss Marvel and how much we love it, and we're from Jersey. And
when you're from that part of the world, it's like going home when you watch that show. It's incredible.
it really is. I mean, I have to say, like, it is a gift.
Dan, it's like going to your friend's house, and they've got like the best, like just using your imagination. It's really inspiring to work with them.
Oh my gosh. I do have to ask about Disney Plus. What are you excited for folks to see next?
It's so exciting because you get to explore so many different stories and push at new frontiers of who gets to tell those stories and what the subject of those stories are, and it's amazing. What's coming down the pipe.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to the Marvel fans. They love getting behind the scenes, and have a great time tonight.
Thank you so much.
Valkyrie! Valkyrie! And that is King Valkyrie to all of us.
That's right.
We're here with Tessa Thompson, King Valkyrie of New Asgard. Hi. Hello.
Tessa. How's Valkyrie doing with the position of king? Because I feel like she's loving all of the power suits very much. For
For
her.
itself, maybe no. No, she's into the suits. She loves musical theater, which is why she's wearing a Phantom of the Opera sweatshirt. She loves being on Earth. She loves all the folks that cosplay. That's her favorite. She just doesn't. She's not great with paperwork. Her and Meek are struggling a little bit in the bureaucracy.
But they understand dress for the job you want.
Absolutely. No, they're ready to be fashionable. We're really inspired. Myas, the costume designer who's brilliant, by Frida Kahlo in her three-piece suits. But it's really fun to imagine what she's like on Earth.
And I do love that she came to Earth, and because she's such a number one. She was a new character to everybody in Ragnarok, and immediately became a fan favorite, which must have been wonderful for you.
That is an amazing surprise.
But also, we really think of her as like sort of a closed-off badass, and so to see that the closed-off badass enjoys musicals and enjoys these cosplays and things on Earth is a really fun insight into her character.
No, she's just a big pile of mush, When we met her in Ragnarok, she had a lot of trauma, and she was, she was really missing her sisters, and she was healing, but she's much healthier now, much happier, but still as adventurous as she ever was.
Coming back and working with with Taika and Chris I'm sure was wonderful. But how did it feel to have Natalie and some of the other kind of classic Thor castmates in for the first time with you?
It felt amazing. You know, I'm a fan of these films. Natalie and I are friends outside of making these movies, and so, you know, they sort of have the spirit of summer camp anyways, and then to have a friend come along, and it was so fun to finally see her have a cape and enter a universe that was familiar to her, but as a superhero.
Trailer that you two have sort of like a buddy relation already.
Yeah, we're good friends. You know, I mean, that's the other thing, that their exes, she and Thor and Valkyrie are good friends, so it's a real family affair.
I love it. Thank you so much, Tessa Thompson. We're so excited to see this movie.
Me too. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. I would like to ask before we, what do you think Valkyrie?
No, you can do it.
How are you important in the cinematic universe? Why is their story important?
Yeah, why? The fans can tell me. Why is Valkyrie important?
Badass.
I guess she's a badass.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Tessa.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tamara, what's going on with you?
Hello. I promised you folks from the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm here with Joe Russo.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you feeling tonight being here, not having to worry about your movie?
I love it. There's zero pressure on me, and there's all the pressure on Taika. So, you know, I'm here to support everybody. I love everyone involved in this film. It's nice when, you know, you're not working on a movie to come and be like everyone else, get excited. I brought my kids with me, so, you know, we're here to...
I love that. And I love the fact that, speaking of family, the Marvel group of directors really does seem like you've got this familial, collaborative thing going on. Can you talk about what your relationships are like together? Because you work with characters over different movies together.
For sure. I mean, this is a group that has spent a lot of time together over the last decade, collaborating with each other, building out this mosaic of stories. We're all very close. I talk to Taika all the time. He's one of my favorite filmmakers on the planet. I love watching anything that he does. He's so unique and individual and inspiring with his work. And it's sort of a career highlight to know that, you know, directing is a very isolating craft. You know, it's not often that you get to hang out and work with other directors in the way that we did at Marvel. So we're all lifelong friends, and we've all been through the of making these movies together, and it's a bonding element.
I feel like along those lines, I should ask you for advice on how to have good brotherly relationships. You know, Sean Gunn was here before. He's worked with his brother. You direct your brother. The Thor movies have so much about brother relationships. What's your brother relationships?
Well, my advice for good brother relationships, well, if you work together, leave it at work. Never take it home, you know. But you know, family's everything. It really is. Like, my brother and I would have never made it through those movies, 4 films in 7 years, back-to-back Avengers movies, without each other. We really wouldn't have. And we would have made it through without the collaboration of everyone. Marvel really is a family. It really is a very strong, close-knit community where everybody is very supportive of each other, helps each other through really large, difficult projects. And so my advice is, you know, be kind and work hard.
My last question for you, that's great advice. My last question for you is, you've had the really unique experience of directing actors who play characters that were originated in other films that you've had to bring into your film. How do you do that as a director? Remain true, yet still...
We love that. I mean, it's interesting to take elements that are pre-existing and put them together in ways that are surprising or different. That's another great thing about Marvel, is that, you know, everyone can express themselves in their own way. We direct very differently than Taika directs, very differently than Ryan or James directs, and you know, so we're all bringing something very different to this giant collaboration. I think that's what makes it exciting for the fans, and that's what's surprising.
Well, thank you so much for showing up. This movie is called So Much Love to the Marvel Cinematic Family.
I'm ready for some love and thunder.
Get in there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Tony Stark. Ahí está.
It's incredible. All that it takes to bring an entire universe together.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about some of the source material and some of the inspirations for these films, including Thor: Love and Thunder, one of which is the Mighty Thor, and one of which is Thor 2012 or 2014, which was Jason Aaron.
That's right.
And we talked about how Thor is 60 years old this year, starting with Journey into Mystery.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And if you want to read all of these stories, if you want to dig deeper into the Marvel Universe,
you can find 30,000 comics on. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Marvel or the Marvel Universe. The characters, the stories you love, all for a low price. All in one.
Ya se trabó. Uy. Control al suprimo. De volada. Cancelar. Perfecto, perfecto. Ya regresó. Dale play. Solo que aquí está como pausado. No sé qué le pase, caramba. Control al suprimo. Perfecto. Vamos a activar. Ya vi. Según esto está bien.
This is Marvel Unlimited.
all right. You know, we know you're out there. We know you're watching. And we're watching what you're saying on social.
Hashtag Thor Love and Thunder, or follow us at Marvel or at Thor.
That's right. We have got some of the best fans in the universe. The Marty, and I believe we have just seen the arrival of Chris Pratt, Star-Lord himself.
Star who?
Star-Lord. Oh my gosh, did you see Cap Cord costume?
I did, that's my favorite costume.
Somebody is dressed as Taika mocap for Cord.
Otra vez. Las fallas, fallas. Vamos. Por aquí. No, pues ya se fue la señal. Vamos a cambiarla.
Estas manos alguna vez se usaron para batir. Ahora son humildes herramientas de paz. Quiero escoger mi propio camino. Vivir el momento. Mis días de superhéroe terminaron. Recuerda lo que te... Te estoy escuchando.
Listo, listo. ¿Por qué no? Ok, listo, ya está cargando.
As the goats with him. I can't wait till we cut to a shot.
You know, it's Taika Waititi. He knows what he's up to, so I'm excited to get in there and check it out.
And we got space goats now, man.
We got space goats. I remember Taika was like, you know, I won't do his impression. He's like, you know, he just wanted to stick James with some goats. He was like, I've rewritten the script, mate, and you know, I decided to put some goats in there and see what he's gonna do with them. So like James has to pick up where Taika left off, and he stuck us with some space goats.
But I love this because this brings up a question that I've always had about to you, which is, do y'all really do that to each other? This in the background, and now you have to deal with it, man. And let's see what you do.
Typically, no, but I guess Taika kind of plays by his own set of rules. You know what I mean? You'll see. There's a few things that he did that I think it was kind of an inside joke to play on James, and it's a bit of that sort of improv world where, you know, see what you can roll with, give and take, and the yes and sort of culture of comedy.
And stranger to improvisation yourself, is there anything that you're gonna make somebody else in a later movie run with?
Oh man.
Anything you'd want to?
God, you know, at this point, I think I mean, we've wrapped Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's a little too late now. And I'm not the director, you know, I'm just the actor. So I show up and do my thing, and I'm sort of at the mercy of what they want to put in the show, So
whatever they say that you have to give to somebody else, you're going to give them.
Absolutely. Of course I would, yeah.
Well, Chris, we're so excited to see the interaction between the Guardians and Thor. We're so excited to see this movie. Thank you so much for spending the time with us.
Absolutely my pleasure to be here. Thank you both for having me here, Marvel.com. And to all of you fans, again, thank you so much. It will never not be surreal to walk out onto a red carpet and see people dressed up like the character that you've played. So thank you. You honor us, you humble us, and we're grateful for you. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here.
We are getting so very close right now. Tamara, how are you doing over there?
I mean, I'm doing great. It's people keep walking by, actors keep walking by. It's so much fun. I'm hearing streams from all the fans. Just a couple minutes ago, Tessa Thompson, our Valkyrie walked by. Huge cheers, and as I'm sure you can imagine. I have to say, though, it was really interesting listening to Chris Pratt talk about how the directors work together, and then interviewing Joe Russo, who's done 4 Marvel films with his brother. Joe Russo talk about how the directors work together. Slightly different versions about collaboration, and my guess is that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But I do sort of love this idea that, like, you know, just kind of maybe they play some practical jokes on each other and stick a thing in here or there that another director then has to pick up and use in an interesting and perhaps unexpected way. But there is so much that is unexpected. Doesn't count the variations for each costume that we need. So, you know, it's pretty amazing seeing all of this. What's been happening up there? What's been some of your favorite moments so far?
Ooh, you know what? I love the fashion. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was wonderful to see everybody sort of taking their own vibe on the cosplay thing. I mean, Tessa Thompson.
Okay, Tessa, my favorite. My favorite outfit. Really want to wear that one. A wing flying dagger.
Absolutely.
What are some of your favorite
looks from tonight on the carpet?
My God. No es muy
All right, now, we all know Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, but there might be something else in the universe that's just as strong. Presented by California Almas.
Behold, Mjolnir, Stormbreaker, the forged in the heart of a dying star. Only the worthy may possess its full might, capable of summoning the almighty Bifrost.
Almonds, an excellent source of magnesium to help support immunity.
How do you keep getting in here?
That's a
Está
weapon
muy
in
grueso el
wellness.
mango de este Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
California Almonds,
Your friend in wellness.
See Marvel Studios' Thor: Love and Thunder, only in theaters July 8th.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Tamara.
You know, tonight has been absolutely amazing. It's been wonderful to see the talent come through here and to see, honestly, Tamara, I gotta say, my favorite thing is just the absolute joyful vibe all of these people have about this movie and about working together. It's been wonderful to see.
It's true, but wait, I have to ask you a question. Did you sell me out to Kevin Feige and tell him that I stole Christian's wallet?
Look, listen, I get flustered in front of authority.
And tells on other people.
I didn't know what to do, and I gotta tell you, the first thing that pops into my head is throw someone else under the bus. I'm a bad person, Tamara.
You are not
And
a
I
team player.
apologize.
You have learned nothing from the Guardians. You have learned nothing from Team. Come on.
I'm sorry. I'm a weak.
Reality, though, we love you to bringing the thunder. Thank you so much for being there and having us tonight.
It's great to host this with both of you, sending all the love right back to you.
All right, everybody, make sure that you get your tickets for July 8th premiere of Thor: Love and Thunder.
That's right. It's going to be amazing. Thank you all for joining us. It has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you to the fans. Thank you to the cast and crew that have joined us here tonight.
A little sneaky peek of tonight. And Anthony, thank you to you.
Thank you to you.
Yeah. Okay, regular handshake. Asgardian handshake.
Esperemos que Disney
that you didn't
see.
see.
Lo cual no creo, ¿verdad?
Asgardians.
Pero bueno,
I
vamos
won.
a seguir echándole ganas.
Marvel, your universe.
Who seeks to end us all. They're putting together the greatest team ever.
Are you packed?
Pues a esto es que nos logran visitar, muchas gracias.
We've got Korg.
He's my best friend.
There's my ex-girlfriend Jane. Valkyrie.
This is the best
Y me agrada.
The Guardians.
And giant goats.
Oh, look at those. They are wonderful.
Yes, they are. They all
Y nos vemos en otro video. Adiós.